What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ross back at it again with another video. So we got to talk about what happened on this Saturday night's main event, the very first Saturday night main event that we've had in quite some time. I want to say it was the last one they've done was like 2007, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been a very long time since we've seen a Saturday night's main event. This was definitely dope when it came to just like a little bit of the nostalgia feel. The atmosphere was great, and it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable for the 2 hours that they gave us. It was some good wrestling television, man. I think it was a nice addition to what we got this week. Out of all the shows this week, this was the best show in my opinion out of Raw and SmackDown. This was really good. The matches were really good, straight to the point. They didn't overstay their welcome, and I definitely enjoyed how things played out at the end of the show and post the end of the show. When everything went off air, there were some more crash outs that happened, and we're gonna talk about that. But let's first go down the list. I'm gonna give my thoughts and opinions on this particular show. So they started off with Drew versus Sami. Now, we knew Drew coming in, he is on a mission. He's on a mission to take out the OG bloodline, and he is focused. He was focused when he was walking to the ring. Like, he didn't even want the people touching him. He was just focused in. He was ready to, take out Sami, and Sami came down there. Great atmosphere from the crowd, great reaction from the crowd when Sami's music hit. And before Drew could even take off his jacket, Sami started with a flurry of punches, started attacking Drew McIntyre early in the match. And this match was really fast paced. It was kind of back and forth. Early in the match, Sami was really the aggressor. He was staying up on Drew McIntyre as much as he could, applying as much pressure as he could. But Drew would always end up cutting him off. And the thing is, Drew was really in his bag with the type of moves he was using. It was back to back. It was fluid. And Sami would always kick out. And I do appreciate the pace of this match. It was a really great opening match. I'm glad that they started with this particular one. But ultimately, towards the end of the match, Drew McIntyre runs out the ring. Sami follows him. Then Drew runs back in the ring. Sami follows him, and he runs right into a Claymore kick for the 1, 2, 3. And honestly, the right person won here. It didn't make sense for Drew to come back just to lose. It made sense for him to win because he's on a mission right now. He's on a mission to to pretty much eradicate any of the OG bloodline members. And as he was walking through the entrance ramp, that you see a clip of him on Twitter. You see a clip of him on Twitter talking about, 1 down, 4 to go. So clearly he has a list. He has a list of people, and he's checking it off twice like Santa Claus here, except he's not Santa Claus. He's here to give out seasoned beatings and Claymore kicks. So it seems as if he's not done. He's going to be going after more people. Does this mean he's going to be going after CM Punk again? Don't know. Does this mean, is he going to go after Solo? It would make sense. Is he going to go after some of the newer members in the new bloodline? Because he doesn't like none of the bloodline. So who knows? And we all know the ultimate goal is for him to go after Roman Reigns. So it's really going to be one of those things where it's like, how is this going to play out? But we do have an idea. He said 1 down, 4 to go. So he's not done. He's going to make sure that he takes out the bloodline, whether it's some of the members of the new one or the old one for sure. Roman Reigns is definitely still on that list. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to play out. But I like what they're doing with Drew. He has something that he's focused in on, and that's taking out the bloodline by any means necessary. And I'm okay with it because it's justifiable. It makes sense for his character to finally do that. So I'm all for it. Next, we got Liv versus Iyo for the Women's World Championship. This was a pretty solid match. I did think that Liv was going to retain. I do feel like Iyo was carrying the first majority, well, pretty much the majority, like the first half of this match, Iyo was showing out, in my opinion. I think she was doing a very good job. I think she was carrying the match, but Liv did have her moments in her spots within the match. And it was a nice back and forth. It wasn't just complete dominance, but you could see that Iyo was outclassing her and when it came to the agility and her wrestling ability in the ring. But I will say this about Liv, and she deserves her flowers. Liv is a tough SOB because they showed a replay of Liv getting kicked, kneed in the face right to her nose, and she took that like a champ and still kept the match going. Don't know if her nose is broken. We will see, but towards the end of the match, her nose was visibly bleeding, but she took that like a champ. So shout out to Liv, man. It's one of those things where being a wrestler, male or female, you got to be tough. And Liv Morgan definitely showed that she is tough, and she showed out, man, in that regard. And she ultimately ended up getting the win clean. She got the win clean. She didn't cheat. I thought she was going to cheat, but she didn't. She won fair and square. She beat Iyo Sky. I think Iyo was going off the top rope, and Liv got her legs up right at the last minute. Got her legs up and was able to capitalize and was able to hit her finish off that for the 1, 2, 3. She won. She won clean, and I can appreciate that. I like the fact that she won clean. She beat Iyo clean, a very good competitor. We knew she was going to retain most likely, but I'm glad she got the win. I thought she was going to cheat, but they didn't do that, and I can appreciate that. They're trying to give Iyo, Liv, that more credibility on, beating people without having to use cheating methods. So I can appreciate that. As she's walking up to the back, Rhea's music hit. She comes out there, no brawl, no attack. She stands face to face to Liv Morgan as Liv Morgan holds up the title. And I do think that's going to be the next match. And I do believe when that match does happen, I think Liv's title reign will have been completed. So, but solid match. Liv actually did pretty well in this match. It's Iyo. She's fantastic in most of the matches she's in. And it was pretty solid. Glad that Liv got the win clean. I can appreciate that. Next, my favorite match of the night, Gunther versus Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. This was great. Started off with stiff chops from everybody. It was a very stiff match. Fast pace. Boys going back and forth with different moves. And it was not a lot of false finishes, but it was some decent false finishes where it looked like boys was about to potentially get the win. I forgot there was one situation where I think Damian Priest had Gunther in the Razor's Edge position from the second rope. He threw him, and then Finn Balor was still on the top rope, and Finn hit the coup de grace, and Finn went for the cover for the 1, 2, but Damian Priest broke it up. So Damian Priest hit the Razor's Edge from the second rope to Gunther, or the top rope to Gunther or whatnot, and then Finn Balor hit the coup de grace for the close pin. That was really good. I like that. It was like some inadvertent teamwork, but not, it wasn't on purpose. So I can appreciate that. But what they did here that I really like with Gunther is they gave him some more of his aura back. And I'm going to get into that. It was cool to see Damian do old school like the Undertaker, showing his respect to the Undertaker, even though y'all call him the bisexual Undertaker. It's kind of wild. But nevertheless, it was cool to see old school done from a current wrestler. But towards the end of the match, this is where I say they gave Gunther his aura back tonight. He already was gaining it back, but he really gained it tonight in this dominant win. So, Gunther is trying to choke out Damian Priest on the outside. So, there's steel steps is the bottom half is, away from the ring. So, what Gunther decides to do is to essentially power bomb him onto the steel steps, but he wasn't able to get it initially because Damian Priest's foot ends up hitting the steel steps. So he's hung upside down, but Gunther muscles his way up through, Damian Priest just being dead weight, muscles him up and still hits the power bomb onto the steel steps Damian Priest was out. He was done. Next, Gunther gets in the ring, drop kicks Finn Balor, and then hits him with his power bomb or power slam, whatever you want to call it, in the middle of the ring for the pin for the 1, 2, 3. Packed them up simultaneously. Packed up Damian Priest, packed up Finn Balor, wiped his hands. I'm that guy. I'm him. I loved it. Loved the way this ended. Showed that Gunther is still him, should be regarded as him, and the right person took the pin. I'm glad Damian Priest didn't take the pin here. Finn Balor took the pin here. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go going forward with Gunther. Who's going to be his next opponent heading into the Royal Rumble season? We will see. But great match. My favorite match of the night. This was really good. Definitely enjoyed it. Next, it was Michin versus Chelsea Green to see who was going to be the first ever women's United States champion. And the crowd was pro Chelsea Green. Like, this match was all about Chelsea Green winning. Michin, people, love her, but it was all about Chelsea Green winning. And even though, Piper Niven was out there assisting Chelsea Green, I think that's what ultimately caused Michin to lose a little bit of her, focus, because she was trying to focus on Piper Niven being involved in the match, and ultimately that's what ended up costing her. The match itself was okay. It's not something that I would go back and watch again, but it is a cool moment to see Chelsea Green win the first ever women's United States championship. And it was a good moment for her. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with her going forward when it comes to her being the United States champion, who she's going to face, who's going to be the person to opposite her. Will we get that Chelsea Green versus Piper Niven match? I do think that's going to be happening at some point, maybe for the women's United States championship. So we'll see. But the right person won here. Chelsea Green's a crowd favorite. She got a great reaction when she ended up winning the match. So I'm looking forward to seeing how things are going to play out with her as your new women's United States champion. And last but not least, we got Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens came out there with a Dusty Rhodes shirt on, but in the place of Dusty Rhodes' head, it was Kevin Owens' head. So Kevin Owens just being a troll with the shirts as of recent when it comes to Cody Rhodes. And Cody came out there. We all speculated on him having the winged eagle belt, and the speculation was put to rest, because when he came out there, he definitely had the winged eagle belt for one night and one night only. And boy, oh boy, did it look beautiful to see again. Chef's kiss, so beautiful. I wish would be able to pull out that championship belt for special matches. This was great to see, man. It was just cool, just from the nostalgia side of things. If you guys grew up in that era of the winged eagle belt, and then when they turned it into the big winged eagle belt, you have appreciation for it. It's such a beautiful title. We know they're not going to go back to it. It sucks. It's going to be a one night only thing, but man, oh man, was it dope to be able to see it. And it looks gorgeous. Looks so damn good, man. Love that belt. This was a great match, and the match focused on Cody Rhodes' ankle. Obviously, he had the match with Chad Gable a few weeks back, so he wasn't 100% going into this match, kind of like their first match. He wasn't 100% going into that one. But this time, Kevin Owens was not going to show no mercy. He was not going to let up. He was going to do everything he could to make sure that he took advantage. And even during the match, Kevin Owens being such a troll, such an asshole, he's over there doing this, mocking his father. He was trying to do the bionic elbow. He was doing the punches like his father. But ultimately, Cody's like, no. Let me show you how a Rhodes really does it. And he started doing the punches like Dusty, and he ended up hitting him with the bionic elbow. So it was cool to see Kevin Owens heal it up. He definitely was clearly the heel in this situation, but he still does have a point. As we got closer to the end of the match, one of the referees ended up getting knocked out, and KO ends up hitting the stunner, but the referee's out, so that would have been the match, right? Would have been the match right there. Then another referee comes out there, and he ends up getting knocked out because I think Cody was going for the disaster kick, and KO ducked and hit the referee, so he ends up getting knocked out. And that's when KO says enough is enough. Both referees are out. So he goes for a steel chair. He's going to essentially whack the hell out of Cody with the steel chair. Cody ducks, dodges it. He's able to knock down Kevin Owens. He gets him in the crossroads. The chair is on the ground. And instead of just hitting the crossroads, just to hit it, he decides to hit the crossroads onto Kevin Owens. He hit the crossroads on Kevin Owens onto the steel chair. So he could have just hit the crossroads regularly, but the referee was down. He didn't see it, and he ended up hitting the crossroads onto the steel chair. And the ref comes in, comes to for the 1-2-3 victory. Now, the conversation has become, did Cody cheat per se? Technically, he did. Even though Kevin Owens brought in the chair, he didn't have to. And that's always the thing that you can say. Did he have to? No. He could have just hit the crossroads. He could have did the trifecta like he always does, hit the triple crossroads. But no, he hit the crossroads onto the steel chair. He saw it. I liked how they showed. He was about to hit it. He looked, and then he aimed for the chair. He knew. And then guess what? He moved the chair out the way. Ref comes in, 1-2-3. He cheated. He cheated. Whether you boys want to admit it or not, and I think a lot of people like the fact that he cheated because they want to see Cody get to this level of heel-like persona. They want to see that side of Cody, but he cheated. I want to say this is the first time he actually has cheated since he's been back in WWE. Once again, he didn't bring in the chair, but he still used it. Kevin Owens never got the chance to use it. He tried to, he missed. He had the opportunity to not use it, but he did. And that's where we're starting to see the chink in his armor. And I love it because of the simple fact that it's happening because his best friend has called him out. And now it becomes a little bit of gray area. Like, that really, Cody? That's not like you. That's not like the goody two-shoe Cody. So I like the layers they can add here in the story that they can tell of the slow dissension of Cody's good guy persona, especially when his close friends turn on him. Eventually, it's going to cause him to snap. And I like that. I hope that's the route that they're going because you need to freshen up Cody. I know the fans love him. The kids love him. He's the ultimate good guy, but you don't want him to become John Cena 2.0 where they don't have a problem with pulling the trigger to make him a bad guy sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think if they do pull the trigger, hopefully it does happen with the Randy Orton feud. But the show goes off air. Kevin Owens, he's kind of dazed and stunned. But apparently, there's people showing clips of it on Twitter. I wish we could have seen this on television. Apparently, Kevin Owens says, fuck it, I'm still going to crash out, attacks Cody Rhodes, and hits Cody Rhodes with a pile driver of his own. So not only did he hit Randy Orton with a pile driver, he hit Cody Rhodes with a pile driver in the middle of the ring. And apparently there's some more footage that Triple H was irate. So Triple H and Kevin Owens, they started having a shoving match. They started pushing each other. So I'm going to try to check out some more clips, but it's just chaos. I wish we could have seen it. But the fact that Kevin Owens hit the pile driver on Cody Rhodes after the match, after the show, just let you know, we're not done. We're not done. And the fact that he pushed and he was shoving Triple H back and forth. Very interesting because we all know at one point Kevin Owens was a Triple H guy. So, man, the layers to this story is fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing where does this go? Because, I mean, he packed him up. He packed him up, and does he have a right to? Possibly, because Cody technically somewhat cheated here. So comment down below. Let me know, did you guys enjoy Saturday night's main event tonight? What was your favorite match? What was your least favorite match? And what stories and storylines are you guys looking forward to going forward? But I appreciate all the love, support. Road to 150K. Appreciate y'all kicking with me. See you on the next one. Peace.